Okay.
yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, we're recording already.
Okay. So, hello guys. Welcome to this week's episode of Dose of Discourse. You are joined by me, myself, Kanai, AJ, Eric, Tiffany, but this week is a very special week for us. And we are joined by our fellow Wildcats, two members of the Inside Podcast, Jacob Bachorski and Paul Wagner.
Yay!
Thank you.
Hello,
Thank you very much.
you
Thank you.
guys. And just a quick head start before we begin. What are you guys drinking today?
I would like to start here today.
Okay.
I would like to take the stand here. Today I'm drinking a beverage that. Okay, let me describe this beverage
He's very
here today.
passionate.
If you want to think about a beverage that's been consumed by the likes of Van Gogh, Freddie Mercury,
Wow.
Moses, Shakespeare.
Oh, he froze. Oh.
Suspension's killing me right there. Who's
Oh, we
the
lost-
next person? Who's the
we
next
lost-
person? I don't know
we
who it
lost
is.
him. We
I
lost
was waiting
him.
for Jesus, but
Let's just go. Oh,
I don't think he knows he cut out.
Yeah.
Do you know you cut out? Or he does not?
I
Jacob.
don't think he heard us.
Hello, Jacob.
Jacob, you cut
we,
out.
we cannot hear your audio.
No here.
Your,
No here.
your audio cut out and your
No
video cut
here.
out.
No.
That's
Hello.
embarrassing.
Okay.
That's
My
embarrassing.
microphone. Can we restart? Dude, my mic does this thing where it literally turns
Just
off.
breaks.
It literally breaks. My mic literally breaks, and it also.
What a future.
I have my headphones plugged in the back
Oh,
too,
yeah.
so it literally turns off the headphones too. So
You
That's
cut
very
off after
embarrassing.
Shakespeare.
really, no way. I'm
We're
pissed.
like, who else?
Who else? Okay.
That was intense.
Well, I'm pissed. Okay. I'm so mad. Okay. Well, I'm drinking water. I don't know if you want to. I don't know.
What kind of water?
What kind of water?
Yeah.
It is filtered water from the grocery store. We have this thing where we have like a water cooler in our house.
Okay.
And we get like 5 gallon things that we refill.
Okay.
And it's very efficient, very eco-friendly, cost efficient as well, and it tastes very decent. So
Okay.
you know, that's what we get.
Nice,
She was
what I'm
nice.
drinking
she
today.
was about to judge you.
Yeah.
Purified.
Yeah. I'm a spring water kind of person.
Got it. I see.
How about you, Paul? What are you drinking today?
Well, I'm drinking a drink that has been drinking. That's a word. I don't know. Drunk for
Drunk.
centuries. And the person that I want to bring it to attention who drinks this drink is the one, the only Jacob Bachorski.
Wow.
I got a glass of water right here.
Okay,
Let's
go. In my
Let's
famous
go, Paul.
fish and flowers and leaves, little plastic cup.
All right.
Got nice and full. It's filtered from the fridge. You know it's good. Here's a sip.
Wow.
Wow.
We are a hydro homie
We love
friendly
that.
podcast.
Let's go.
For sure.
Love
That's what I
that.
like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Well, today I'm not drinking water, unfortunately. I'm drinking like instant coffee with it's mostly milk. It's just basically milk flavored coffee, but I'm drinking it to stay awake because I'm driving over to Indiana in a little bit. So
I would like to point out that all water is instant.
I mean, some of them you have to like filter it to be ready to drink, but
True. All my water is instant. Anyway.
you love that.
Sip of water.
All right. Let's go to Tiffany.
So, I am drinking a chai latte type.
Wow.
It's not latte, but it's kind of like a chai tea. I don't know. It's just like one of those concentrates you just dump in there.
Yeah.
I forgot that, or almost forgot to make my drink, so I did that. But I also have water. Can't forget about water.
Love that.
And I have my jug of water.
Go.
Stay hydrated.
Can I?
I'm drinking my usual Keating lemon tea, but just for this special episode, I brought my sweetened matcha love tea.
Oh, I thought she was about to say water too.
You know,
I'll be real.
Yes.
I can bring water. I can get some water for us, but I brought some matcha love because I love this episode specifically.
Well,
Okay, go.
Well, I've been needing caffeine lately, so I also have tea. We have a theme of caffeine over on the Dose of Discourse podcast. So I'm drinking green tea.
Yeah, need some
Yep, just
caffeine.
regular green tea.
Lovely, lovely.
All right, so we're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
All right.
You right? I'm ready.
But so, as many of you may know, we all went to high school together, but I'm sure some of our stories, I mean, I've heard some of AJ, I've seen some pictures. We've all met prior to high school, but just to get things a little bit started, I actually am really curious to know our first impressions. So, like, when did we meet? What did we first think about each other? Like, all of that. Let's just, who wants to go first? I don't know.
I can begin.
All
Okay.
right.
So, out of everyone in this call right now, the first person I met actually was AJ. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
she was in my elementary school. I think she moved in
I think
third, fourth, fifth grade, something like that. I don't know.
second, third. yeah.
Second, never mind. Okay, and I'll be honest. The first impression was she cried literally every day. It just is what it is. It just is what
True.
it is.
It's true.
So that's all I got. So that was AJ. Kanai was introduced to me later in middle school. She was outstanding. She gave me hugs all the time. I was like, wow, okay. I've never experienced this before. And she told me to get a Facebook, and that ruined my life. So
Oh,
and yeah, so that was pretty cool. And as for Tiffany and Eric, I honestly don't remember like first impressions. Once we get into high school, there's a lot of people introduced at one time. So I feel like
True.
the first experience with those people were kind of, at least for me, is a little foggy. But I got to know Eric a bit more because we went to college together. Actually, went to the
Cute.
same college, so I'd see him on campus every now and again. But
I got a question for you, Jacob.
sure, what's up, man?
Who's your kindergarten teacher?
My kindergarten teacher. I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh God.
you
I
actually
don't
not know?
remember. No, I
He's
genuinely
gonna
don't know.
argue. He's gonna
Oh my
beat you,
gosh.
AJ.
Well, I would like to say that I think I was the first one to meet you
Oh,
because
okay,
we were in the
okay.
same kindergarten class with Mrs. Ward at
Oh.
Whitman North.
God, oh my gosh. Okay, I do remember Mrs. Ward. I
Well,
remember
yeah.
Mrs. Ward being a great teacher.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't
remember
anyone in my
kindergarten.
class.
Clearly,
But
Eric
yeah.
doesn't remember. Clearly.
I mean, I remember you were in my class though. That much I
Wow.
do remember.
Okay.
I get.
What a
that.
good
That's
memory.
great. So AJ, you got beat out by Eric.
Dang.
That's cool to know. Oh man, Mrs. Ward. Oh my goodness.
It's war.
That's cool.
But-
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Eric is ready to jump in on that.
Groundbreakers for
was.
life, okay? But Paul, how about you, Paul?
Yeah, sure. I remember meeting Tiffany and Kanai kind of coming in together freshman year as I think they were like good friends freshman year. And I was thinking like, oh, that right there, those two are like the best friends all the way to senior year, past college. I know it's going to happen. Though the upper woodwinds, me in high school, I was me in high school, I kind of viewed everything from like a music perspective because I was the one music nerd. I am the music nerd. I still am a nerd. And I was like, oh, look at this. AJ and Tiffany, BFFs forever. I wish I could have a friend like that.
You mean can I?
I mean, Kanai and Tiffany, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh
It'd
my
be
my-
like
my
that.
apologies.
It'd be like that.
It'd be like that. Yeah. I'll say this.
Many
AJ,
years.
I was like, AJ, she's the person like pulling those strings on like a piece of wood, like cat guts, like what is this? You're supposed to blow an instrument. It's not like rub them with like horsehair, like what are you doing? Join band and all that.
Yes.
But I do remember having a profound memory of AJ being, I think I was first exposed to AJ in like color guard and marching band, right? I can't remember if you joined like way in freshman year or sophomore year, but I do remember you being in color guard. Sophomore year, yeah. And I was thinking like, wow, she's pretty good at what she does. I remember having that memory. And Eric, I apologize, but I could have sworn that you went to London, right? You went to London Middle School?
As did AJ.
As did AJ, yes.
Yeah, me and Eric were homies.
Yeah. As you can see, my memory on these things is not fantastic. And
It's
you know what?
okay.
I think I can blame that just a little bit on social, like not having social media.
Yeah.
Because I find myself in so many times where like, oh geez, like the other day, I'm gonna do a little name drop, but I had a text from Joe Schweik. Remember the legend from high
Yeah,
school,
Joe.
Joe Schweik? love him. He's a great friend of mine. We were friends in high school. We never talked to each other, but mainly because I don't have social media. And these people just kind of leave my mind, and I don't follow up with them. I don't really keep in track with what they do. And of course, we're not thinking about something every single day. Sometimes those memories fade a little bit. So I got to apologize that I can't remember concretely, and I want to claim that I'm me not having social media, but there's probably another part of me, just me being dumb and not actually remembering these things too, but yeah.
This is a while ago, so
That's
of course,
okay.
yeah.
Middle school is not that memorable. Well, some parts were.
some parts
Yeah.
some parts you choose to forget.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's true. Damn, that's actually crazy. I think what Jacob started, I met him in middle school, 6th grade. We were groundbreakers. And I just remember coming into middle school having this very different perspective from elementary school. And I actually really liked middle school. I got to know a lot of good friends, and I still talk to some of them now, as you can see. And I think it's really interesting to see how people have grown, especially since I feel like our group has been so integrated in various perspectives of our lives. So I think like starting off with impressions was really nice to hear, because it's crazy to how we've actually known each other, like, and for how long. So that's something that really intrigues me, and that's one of the reasons why I was really excited to have you guys on our podcast, because we've actually grown. We've talked to each other. We've had a lot of high school memories. So I'm actually just really excited to hear more of that evolution of where we started and how we kind of met, what kind of stories were memorable to you guys, and just the evolution of life, music, careers, all of that. So
Very well said. Very well
Thank you.
said. The one thing I want to comment on that I think I think Kanai's the only person that enjoyed middle school. I think.
hey,
I honestly think so.
hold on.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah, when she said that, I was about to say not couldn't be me.
Yeah.
it's actually crazy because I really didn't like elementary school because I
Really?
got bullied a lot. And
Oh.
then in middle school, I think that's when I actually met a really good group of friends who made me feel safe, even though I felt like unprotected or bullied in middle school. So that's why I was really appreciative of the opportunities. Like we had really good teachers that except for one teacher I shall not name in 6th grade.
Tough.
Oh, okay.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure me and Jacob had the same teacher for social studies. Anyways, that being ruined.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I really liked 8th grade, the experience of like leadership growth, having those friends transition to high school and seeing like who your real friends are. That's what I really liked about it. But yeah, I like middle school. So I don't care if y'all don't. I do me.
True. Can't argue with that.
But
Yep.
I still won't forget Paul, and he stole my medal in high school, and
Paul's like,
and
he's like,
I have Paul. I have really good memory, and I will never forget the time when Mr. Logan was giving away rewards, and he was like, "Okay, you can pick whatever you want." And out of all the awards available, he chose to do the one drum major award or whatever. And you know when he gave it back to me for my 18th birthday. So thank you.
I was like, I do not remember this at
I think-
all.
Yeah, this has slipped my memory. Oh my goodness.
I think
I have no memory of this.
I think it's when Mr. Logan was trying to get rid of all the marching band rewards at the
Mhm.
end of the season because we don't have space for all of them.
Too many
Yeah.
rewards. Get him out of here. Get him
Mhm.
out.
Oh yeah, now I remember
Oh.
that. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
He's like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah,
He's feeling very attacked.
Yeah, I
She remember that.
I'm gonna
How many years has it been? She still remembers that.
Hey, he did it on purpose. He was very. I feel like when I first met Paul in high school, he was more towards like the sarcastic jokester type of person, and he really did like to mess with us, especially like me and Yasmin. And I just remember that specific moment. Not, I mean, I still remember a lot more, but I think that's the one that like hold dear to me, where I was like, oh, he did this on purpose.
It's
But
calculated.
Okay,
Yes.
I can't guarantee, like I said, It's been a long time. There's cobwebs in my brain. Okay. Obviously this is something that this joke didn't last a long time in my mind, you know. Was it calculated? Who knows? I'll take the credit for it, you know. I'll definitely take that credit for it, but no guarantees that I actually was thinking about, let me steal this award from Kanai and then regift it as a birthday present or whatnot, you know, to like build up my image in her brain or whatnot. I would like to think it was calculated, but I really think it was probably a mistake on my part. And then to fix that mistake, I can just give it back to her for a birthday present.
I like to comment that not much has changed. Paul's still a trickster, jokester.
Oh, I'm
guy.
sure of it. I'm sure of it. I mean, I think I met up with Paul like months ago because he was actually my brother's student teacher at Holmes Middle School. And I think that's when I actually reconnected with him because I honestly haven't seen Paul since graduation prior to that meetup.
This is meet number 2 right here. Meet number 2.
Yes. In the past, I don't know, since 2016, guys. And I mean, it's actually kind of crazy. I remember getting free sandwiches because we were there till it closed. We were at Starbucks and they were giving away free sandwiches and we got free sandwiches. And it was a good recollection of just him talking about my brother and that passing the torch type of thing where I don't know where you are with band teacher Paul. So are you like officially a band teacher now?
Actually, not yet. Still finishing up school.
Okay.
I'm teaching less on the weekend, so I guess that's the most band type thing I'm doing, you know. I'm also working a job. It's like a before school, after school gig. CAP. I don't know. It's run through the park district or whatnot. And it's just parents who work at like 7 a.m. drop their kids off 7 to 9. So, you know, there's people watching kids, make sure they're not like running into a wall or whatnot, you know, that sort of thing. So not yet a band director. Almost there.
Almost there.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait.
What about you, Jacob? I know you graduated.
I did graduate. I graduated with a piece of paper that says I'm good at statistics and psychology.
Wow.
Oh.
I know. Yeah. The statistics part, the statistics came after I realized that computer science was not for me. It was a terrible experience. Maybe Eric saw a little bit of that early on. He's like, I don't know. I feel like there was like 1 or 2 conversations I had with Eric about computer science. Is like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm just doing the project. I'm like, what do you mean you're doing the project? You know, I'm just freaking out because I can't do it myself or whatever. So I switched out of that. Went into stats, and I've actually finished the stats major very, very quickly. I was like, well, I don't want to get out of college this early. Like, what? So I just picked up psych, and which, you know, for psych majors, I don't mean to like, but I did finish it very quickly, and I loved it a lot. It was an awesome experience. My time in UIC during the psych era was really, really cool. The teachers were outstanding. The people were outstanding. It was complete opposite of the CS department where just everyone's just like sweaty and they don't talk to anyone.
Damn.
Except Eric. You know, Eric and I,
to be fair, those professors, well, I think that's just like the culture, right? But to be fair, those professors were not
Sweaty.
that great. Especially those like 101 or like 200 level classes. Those professors were actually trash.
I mean,
Yikes.
I didn't think I would be we're getting into the details here, but it was 251 was the class with Lillis.
Ooh.
Yes, he's the particularly not that great.
And that so I heard rumors of like, yeah, this is the bottleneck class, you're gonna get weeded out, and I'm like, whatever. And I got destroyed. I actually got destroyed.
Okay.
But I got destroyed because I was bad, but also because the dude, like we're going into finals week and there's like 7 or 8 big projects, right? At the end of in the finals week, the grades for project 2 came out, and we had already turned in up to 7.
Oh.
So we had no idea how well we did. We figured out,
that's the
50% on project 2, and we couldn't drop the class, you know, because it was too late. So I mean, it was just absolute shambles. It was that one SpongeBob meme where everything's on fire in the brain. That was the CS.
Oh.
Everything is madness. It was madness, and it was terrible. But anyway, I switched out of that. Lot better experiences for me. Again, the disparity between the CS community versus the psych community was just like amazing. Everyone was the first week in psych, classes, whatever, right? Or maybe not, or sorry, not the first week, the first like midterm. Someone sent like a mass email, like a student sent to 300 plus people, the entire class. It's like, hey guys, you guys want to work on like a study guide together? Like, what?
Oh goodness.
Oh my God. I was shocked that they want to collaborate and actually, and it helped. It was like, I actually met people because of that, it was very straight. And, opposed to CS where it's like, hey man, could you help? No, get away from me, instant like rejection. Which is partly due to me because I was probably pretty annoying, like asking literally 5 seconds, what does this mean? What does that mean? Whatever. But anyway, I digress. So graduated with that and been kind of taking a break since, it was 2020 graduation and the year of 2020 was kind of shambles for me and my family. So I've been kind of taking care of them throughout that year. So I've been kind of taking things slow and pretty much stalling until I have to become a big boy and get a job. You know what I'm saying? So,
like what kind of like job you want to go into? Because I feel like stats and psych are like very two different majors.
Yeah. So there's actually, it sounds very separate, but there's actually a lot of connections. You can't really have psych without stats, believe it or not. Okay. So any sort of psych, how do you say it? Like research, there has to be stats involved for there to be any sort of connection. For there to be any sort of relevance. So, and even if I was just like in a stats field, I feel like I have to use some sort of psych strategies to present my findings to like people who don't know stats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So there was a lot more connections than you think. And as for the jobs that I would find, I don't know. Still kind of like iffy about that. I think data analyst is kind of like a pretty big keyword that I come across a lot. I'm like, okay, that seems kind of cool. Doing some coding still in like data science type areas. Data science is pretty hardcore, but a couple steps back from that, there would still be coding involved, except in a statistical sort of setting. So stuff like that. Those are all options. I'm keeping my options wide because the fact is there's like so many, I guess, job titles out there, things that you could put myself into. I'm just leaving myself open.
Yeah, and kind of figure out like what you like to do in that like aspect, since it's such a broad field of like career choices stuff.
For sure.
Well, good luck with your job search with that.
Thank you.
I know the job market's kind of rough right now.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Yeah, it definitely took me a while until I got a job in my field. So,
I mean, given the COVID and everything now, I'm sure that people will want a lot of data analysts. And now.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're absolutely
Mr.
right.
Meowgie.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Mr. Meowgie.
Being next
special appearance from the cat.
He was sleeping next to my legs.
And
adorable.
Jesse came.
Oh, he's sitting there.
We're trying to get the star of the show needs to be in the shot apparently.
It's true.
Is the star Jesse or Mr. Miyagi?
Jesse the cat.
Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi's.
He never actually faces the camera. He's always like turned around.
Yeah, so we always see his butt. We see his butt.
He's a little camera shy, but he still wants to be like in the frame.
That's true. Oh, there's his little house.
I think Eric's got something to say. He's
Yeah.
pulling his mic
like-
out. He's ready.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think that's so interesting. Like the idea that like definitely people who go into different majors have like different personalities, and obviously they don't all have the same personality, but that's like I did a social justice minor, and that was definitely a huge difference in how people were in terms of like approachability and just like the way they thought. I definitely had some CS friends who we'd hang out with other people, and it'd be a joke where we'd say, hey, like we don't tell people we're CS majors. That's not a thing we do.
We can't do that. Yeah. We can't.
No, because I definitely have a lot of friends who are in CS, and like I would visit. They had lived in like a learning community like freshman year, and I would visit that floor to like my friend went to go get something, and for some reason they just know that there are girls on the floor, and they all just come out of their rooms and they just look at you, and I'm like, man,
hello.
CS majors, man.
Disgusting. Paul, what was the I guess, the music school experience for you?
Yeah, I was just thinking
very
about
different.
that. I was just thinking
DePaul.
about, yeah, you're talking about like different majors in like CS or psych or
The
whatnot.
personalities within
Yeah.
the school.
Yeah.
And like the school music, at least at DePaul, it was this whole separate realm. I probably spent like a total of like 5 minutes off the music school campus in my like 4 years at DePaul, like in the city. Well, technically 3 years because of COVID. But I digress. Yeah, classic. I know, I love it. That's the whole reason why I went there. Also, give me a lot of money. Anyways, the school music at DePaul, wonderful building. It's a great place. But the differences of like majors and the culture between all the majors, like SRT, which is sound recording technology, jazz studies, music education, and then like the broad performance majors, whether that be like clarinet performance, violin performance, trombone performance, whatever it may be, right? The all-stars go to get their piece of paper that says they know how to play an instrument, crazy concept. And I was kind of unique where I had 2 feet in each, 2 feet in 2 different cultures. I was a part of the music education culture, and I was very much a part of the jazz studies culture. Even though I wasn't getting a jazz studies degree, I was very involved in that program. Did combos, I did the big bands, I attended the forums and all that. And the culture between those two were very just unique and different. Where like the jazz studies people were always like the chill people, and they're always hanging out on the couches, and every time like before like rehearsal would start, they're always talking about that new record that was dropped by Kurt Rosenwinkel or something like that, or they're just talking about like, oh, did you hear that one recording that swung so hard? Oh, you got to check this Walter Smith thing. And the music education people are like not like the opposite way, but maybe they're similar, like in the way that they're hanging out, but the subject they talk about, well, that's kind of obvious because jazz education is different. But I don't know, like there's definitely like own little cliques in the school of music, and then you can obviously just take the musical music and just separate that completely from like the rest of DePaul campus. Crazy how that goes. But yeah, it's a good place. I don't know.
Hey, Paul, I remember like in I would consider you like a very creative person. Obviously, like you do music and jazz, and that takes a lot of creativity. But I remember that in high school, you would like do films, or at least for a class we did, and yours was like by far like the best produced and the funniest. So like, do you still like do like film recordings or anything like that?
I wish I did. Sad story about that. All those movies I made for high school are lost to the ether of space and time.
Oh, no.
You see, I saved all those, I uploaded all those videos on YouTube through the high school account. Like the high school gave you a Google account.
Oh, yeah.
And once you graduate, they terminate that account for stupid reason, for storage reason, probably. And that's where I saved all my things, because like sophomore Paul, junior Paul was thinking like, oh yeah, it's a high school project. I'll save my high school account. Yeah. No issue with that, right? Yeah. And then once I graduated, all that went away. And the worst part about this, you would say, okay, Paul, well, sure, you uploaded it on the cloud there, but of course you have it at your home computer. Yes and no. So I did everything on my dad's computer because he had a very nice, fast computer, but he got a new computer like once I graduated from high school. So all those files were lost.
Oh man,
that's sad.
In terms of like still making videos, I actually have not done that. That's one of those things that I just haven't done. And I could probably blame it. Well, actually, no. I did make one video my freshman year of college for a class. And I don't think I'm going to share the title of the video. It is on YouTube. But it's one of those things that it was done well. It was done well. But actually, no, why not? Why not? The title of the video is called Breakfast versus Aliens.
Interesting.
And you can find it on Devin Wessel's YouTube channel.
Nice.
And it was a project from like a film class I took. I forget what the requirement this class was. It was a film class I did my freshman year. It features freshman Paul without a beard, very scary. And
Baby Paul.
Yeah, baby Paul. I know, what a concept. And it was to show off like Devin and my skills in like screenwriting and coming up with a story or whatnot. So that video is up on YouTube, and that's like the only video I've made. And since then,
I think Jacob's looking at it actually.
Yeah.
Jacob found it
for us.
When I was when I was drawing my parody of AJ's awesome promo, I was adding a beard onto Paul. I was like, oh man, I wonder I wonder what Paul looks like without a beard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
This is that. Wait, this is
Yeah.
Jeff without a beard too. Oh my.
I know. Very, very young right
Jeff's
there.
muscles,
Yeah. It's
I'll be watching that later. Hold on.
it's a good little production, you know. It's a good little production, and I would like to make more videos, but the thing is, like, I don't know, the creative juices just don't flow anymore for that. And I like making videos with people too. Like all the videos that I made, I remember for those classes, I was paired up with partners, and I was like, writing a paper, I don't want to do that. No, let's make a video. It's a lot more fun, you know. And the teacher's like, oh, you made a video, give it a, you know, unless you're not like, you know, camera shaking the entire time. You know, tripods are invented for that reason.
Yeah, Paul's creativity kind of blows my mind every day. Like anytime we record a podcast, it's so annoying because like I come up with an idea and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good idea. And then Paul's like, well, wait a minute. What if we just did this instead? And it's like actually like objectively so much better of an idea every time.
When you think you have a good idea, but then it's insignificant to Paul.
It literally is insignificant compared to Paul's ideas.
Didn't he make you a song for your birthday too?
He did. He did make it. Was actually, I would say, the best birthday gift that I ever got. And it was
That's cute.
a song that Paul made for me. And
too kind.
So
You're all too kind.
Yeah.
Do you still have access to that?
I could.
Didn't you put it on Discord?
Yeah.
It is on Discord.
Yeah,
You
Discord.
can. I could post it again, so you don't have to scroll for miles to find it or whatnot. Or I could just, I don't know, send you a link or whatnot. I can do that.
My message was so dumb.
Creativity. Yeah, I listened to it. It was pretty funny. It's like, man.
Like listening to everyone else's like part of the song, and they just go to my part. I'm like, damn, I should have said something else.
I know it's bad to pick favorites, Jacob, but if my memory's correct, one of those birthday messages made you just die of laughter. Who was that?
Oh my! I mean, there's many that did. The first one by our good friend Brandon Rosas was like top tier, just like making me feel like an absolute king, dude. That guy was legendary. Jesse's is great too. He still owes me like 5 kisses, I think it was. I don't know.
Wow.
Jacob says you still owe him 5 kisses. We're talking about that birthday song.
3 kisses.
3. I think.
Jesse said, "Oh yeah, I know."
Just 3, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go. But
He has it marked on his calendar.
His calendar.
But yeah. So yeah, Paul, very creative guy, just literally oozes with creativity.
It was J Rams. Remember J Rams messaged you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and his what did he say exactly? It was just like happy birthday, woo. Yeah, that one was pretty good. So
cute.
anyway, yeah, no, it was very kind, and I don't know, just like for him to just like, oh, you know what, let's just make a song. It's just, I don't know, it just blows my mind that he just like,
that's cute,
just puts that together mentally, just like, oh, we're just gonna do that, you know. It's very.
How come you guys never made us make a song for me?
You didn't request a song.
Yeah.
I had to ask for it, you know.
Come on, can I? Where's my song?
Listen, I don't ooze creativity like Paul. I don't have that musical capability.
Come on,
you
Tiffany.
know? If you need me for CPR, I will be there for you. Okay.
Let's hope I don't need CPR. Ooh.
But honestly, I remember, like, I think in high school, these two were the jazzers. So we would always listen to these two guys, like always jazzing, always coming up with these awesome keys, chords, whatever, and just like flowing creativity. So I think I've actually known that they were creative for so long, but like to hear it in like the present time, it's like really refreshing. It's super nice to hear. But actually, one of our followers actually had a question for us.
Ooh.
And you already mentioned his name, one and only Brian Marbon.
Oh.
I was talking to him recently, and he had a question for us. So, here is the question.
Oh, man.
I had this thought the other day that it's been interesting to see how people develop post-high school in terms of music. Some of us kept playing, and some of us stopped completely. I wondered how that shaped my direction and appreciation of music, since it wasn't such an active part of my life, but allowed me to explore new worlds and new music. So I think his question was.
That was a question.
Well, no, I'm saying like.
Very good statement. Very good statement.
Okay, it was a good statement, but it was like more of ideations to like go upon.
Yeah.
So, in that sense of how it was worded, I know.
Just kidding.
I'm pretty sure Paul and Jacob were the only ones who kept playing.
Out of the six
Well,
of us, yeah.
Out of the six of us, I mean, like Jacob played cello, but he also played bass.
Bass, yeah.
Well, he played
So-
bass in college, though, right?
Right.
I
weren't
played.
you in,
Yeah,
like, a
I did
jazz-
play.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
in like a jazz
and
band.
I
he
did
used
too.
to
Jacob,
post
you're-
videos on Instagram, but he
And
doesn't.
I
That's
did.
do-
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
I did do that.
yeah.
I think those two are the only ones. So I think in his direction of the question, did that basically explore new perspectives of music for us, for those who stopped playing? Or did you assimilate more variety of styles or different cultures of music?
Good question. I mean, that's a
Ooh.
good observation, Paul. I think you were gonna say something like
Such an adult
about me.
question.
That is
Oh
such
no,
an
no. I
adult
was just
question.
gonna say like Jacob, yes, has played throughout college because he is in a band that is going to release an album
Oh,
soon, right?
that's-
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is
okay.
Hey.
that is correct.
You got the inside scoop.
It is an
You
inside
heard it
scoop.
here.
It is.
Heard it here
So
first.
it is my cousin's project. It's a little. Oh, I don't know, dude. It's such a.
He's
We've been working
shy.
on this thing for like 2 years, and this guy's not like jazz trained, right? So it's like kind of, it's messy but it's been a lot of fun to work on. Whether or not it's gonna be an actually good listen, I don't know. Whatever, dude. But anyway,
Bass is gonna be good to listen to. I'm just gonna put on my bass boosting headphones
boosting?
and just
Yeah.
enjoy it.
yeah. But I have been pursuing music pretty actively even past high school. I did my whatever chance I could. I played in like college groups when I was like living there, so I did that while I could. And then I mean, even when I couldn't do that, when I was like commuting, right, I still tried to play every day because I think that's just like a big part of my life, music in general, that I wanted to keep going, right? So, but as for the actual structure of my taste in music or just my appreciation for music, I think stepping out of jazz, just like in an institutional like setting, did kind of open me up to more genres. I think let me think. I don't know. I forget when this was, maybe sophomore or junior year of college, where I actively made it a thing where I was just gonna try listening to like anything, and I just like, I looked at, there's this forum, it's called rateyourmusic.com or something. It's very simple. It was made years and years and years ago, like 12, like on the dawn of the internet, this little forum thing was made, and people just post reviews and ratings of their favorite albums and stuff. And I just kind of went on there to kind of check out what do people think is like the best albums ever, regardless of genre. And just to give you an idea of what these guys' taste is, it's like Radiohead, Pink Floyd. Okay, yeah, a bunch of stoners and stuff, whatever. But once you get down past like the top 10 or whatever, you get into like actual like classic like music that's just like a must listen. And I went through all those, and it kind of just like changed the way I looked at listening and consuming art in general. So I would say, yeah, stepping out of like that little scope of just checking out jazz and like looking at music as like something to, how you say it, I guess, to perform. It's like being out of that mold. It was something more I can enjoy now, just as from like a listening perspective.
What's like a genre that like you didn't expect to like but end up liking like a lot, like through that discovery?
Good question. So it was the first deep dive I did. So growing up, I was big into like rock music, like even metal music. I was super metalhead in middle school, and then jazz in high school. One of like the top 20 some albums, this is by this group called Neutral Milk Hotel, very strange name, and they made like indie folk music, right? Just like a couple steps away from country, right? And this album that I listened to, when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. But with each and every listen, it just like blew my mind more and more and more. And it was like I could sing like every lyric to every song, almost, just about, now. And I've enjoyed it so much. So that's like one genre that I've really just like, if you were to ask me years ago, what is this garbage? I would have I wouldn't care for it at all. But that's a big genre. That was like kind of like the start of just like opening up, you know. Big fan of pop music as well. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh man, just so much. I don't know. It's tough to say, and some things like kind of transcend genres as well. It's kind of hard to put like an actual name on it. So anyway, but that was like the start right there.
Wow.
Why
You
you
still
Paul?
listen to metal music?
Oh, I do all the time. I all the time, and it's
He's
so
like,
good.
I'm listening to it right now.
No, I'm not. But even in that little umbrella, like you call metal, like there's like different
A lot of
subgenres,
subgenres.
right?
Mhm.
And there's when I describe this genre, I often describe like spicy food, right? Some people have different tolerances, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to, if you're at a basketball game and you hear like Enter Sandman by Metallica come on, you're like, okay, you know, like most people are fine with it. But once you get like, you know, a couple spicy meters up, like it's like, okay, dude, I'm done. I don't want to listen to that anymore. I've upped my spicy tolerance throughout the years. So now like people just like screaming like crazy, you know, it's like somewhat more enjoyable. So I don't know, for whatever reason, I found the enjoyment in those pieces of music. So anyway,
Love that.
but yeah, still listen to it.
That's nice. That's nice.
Paul, what about you, man?
You know, I'm going to bring this back just a little bit to Brian's original statement.
Yeah,
slash
sorry.
question. You know, no,
I
it's okay,
did
it's okay.
I did go off a little bit.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all
It's all
right.
good. We like tangents here. Tangents are good. But I just been getting some thought into what Brian said. I think the heart of this is he's just kind of, I don't think he's asking about the benefits, because I think the benefits of playing music in high school and, you know, not perfecting a craft, but, you know, at least getting to know the intricacies of a craft and how to perform something well is, you know, valuable in itself. And it's like a workout for your brain, and you develop listening skills, you develop critical thinking skills, and, you know, a plethora of other skills too. I mean, there's a lot of tests and studies out there that show that people who are invested in music in high school generally score better in like standardized tests and all that, you know. I digress. So like I had a very unique student teaching experience at a high school where musical excellence wasn't a high school. Musical excellence wasn't like a priority, right? Essentially, if you showed up and sat your butt down in a chair, like you're good to go, you know. And like to give you just like an example of like just the culture at the high school, often the percussionists in the back would like joust with like trash can lids and whatever random pole like color guard flags to pull, you know. And the band director was like, "Hey guys, stop it," and then they keep on doing it, like whatever, you know. So like it wasn't the musical excellence wasn't like pushed there, you know. And I distinctly remember this. I was there for the last marching band like home game, and the seniors were all together taking pictures and crying together because they loved all the 4 years of doing this, you know. And I'm thinking like, wow, you know, like here are some students who went through this, in my opinion, not a fantastic program in terms of like musical excellence, and they gained a lot of value from it, and they're taking pictures, they have a lot of good memories. I'm sure in years from that year they're going to be talking about their experience and reminiscing all the fun times they did together, you know. And the other hand of the spectrum, like at our high school experience, musical excellence was very much pushed, and we were pushed to our, I don't want to say limits, but we were pushed to play great music. And a lot of my memories come from playing at super states with you all, playing at packed marching band stadiums, right? Great memories there. Playing at Midwest two times. Jacob, wow, look at that, you know. And you know, I developed these very special memories from there. And you know, I think about like, is any one of those things more valuable? And I would actually have to say yes. I do think so, you know. And I think in part of pushing students to achieve musical excellence, you're not only, you know, making something special like music, because music is special, but you're also developing those skills like I just talked about, like critical thinking, critical listening, and just, you know, essentially a workout for your brain, you know. And I think of course this is going to be like person to person, but I think you can find a little more value in a situation where you go to a festival and you worked your butt off like to prepare for this, and you go home with some sort of like best in class award, best in class performance. Sure, these awards don't mean anything, but what they describe is like the journey that you went through to get that achievement, right? And I mean, of course, like, could I go through and list all the awards that our marching band or jazz band or contra band won in high school? Absolutely not.
Too many to count.
That's right. Too many. That's right. Too many to count. But like, do they mean anything? Absolutely not. But those experiences, like, they mean a lot, you know? So I guess, like, to bring this all back to, like, I guess Brian's question about like people doing music in high school, maybe like even out of high school too, those students who are in those programs, like, let's say Brian, you know, friend of the podcast, both podcasts actually, he was a excellent, probably one of the best in the state, if not the best in the state, high school bass trombonist. And he went on to do very special things in college, and he has a big boy job doing big boy things right now. Oh my goodness, he is. I think he's just like he's in the process of going to buy a house too with his family.
Wow.
Like, doing great things. The dude is one of the smartest people I know, and I think he can definitely take some of those skills of, you know, practicing music, being dedicated in that, and translate it to like what he's doing in real life. Even though these aren't like direct correlations, of course your brain is working out when you're playing music, and everybody knows that when your brain's working out, it gets smarter, and when you have a smarter brain, you get to do better things, you know? So and not to mention too, like, Brian has those same memories. Brian has those same memories of us, those very special memories. And not to mention too, Brian has good taste in music. Brian knows what good music sounds like, you know?
Yes,
Oh
he
my
does.
goodness. Yeah.
Very vital.
K-pop.
Very vital skills.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Big fan of
K-pop,
K-pop.
we love that.
Yeah.
Man of good taste.
It's always liking AJ's music recommendations.
I put them just for him because I'm like, Brian will listen to this, so I'm like, I'll just put this there.
Another thing I want to mention this. Brian has showed me some K-pop tunes, and I have absolutely loved them. And here's why. K-pop, I don't know if this is like a coincidence or if it's actually influenced, but K-pop, to my ear, sounds a lot like jazz in terms of the chord progressions, right? When I talk about jazz, I'm talking about like the American songbook. What is the American songbook? Back in the 30s, 40s, 20s, musical was really popular in America, and a bunch of composers like, I'm blank right here because it's a podcast, you know. Come on, Cole Porter, right? Jerome Kern, Gershwin's, you know, like, they're making all this music for plays, musicals, and jazz musicians are like, wow, these chord progressions are really hip. We're going to steal them and play changes, and we're going to solo over them. And a lot of those chord progressions, you can find similarities in these things in K-pop, like secondary dominants, 2-5-1s, major chords moving down in like minor thirds, all these things that
music
I'm just gonna smile and nod, but yeah.
But no, like, the point I'm trying to say is that like these elements that you find in like jazz, Great American Songbook, but just, I guess, jazz as umbrella general, is kind of directly shown in K-pop. I mean, a lot of it too is poppy stuff like 1-4-5, 1-4-5-6 progressions, any variation of that you find in K-pop too. Yeah. But it's hip because they add like other chords that make it hip, and these chords you find in jazz too. And I remember just one day I went over to Brian's house and we were just listening to K-pop, and I was just being like, okay, you got like, okay, there's the 1 chord. Okay, there's the 4 chord. Oh, secondary dominant to the 6. Here's the 6 chord. Okay, walk down 2-5-1 to the 3 and go into the 5 and back to 1. You know, I was just hearing all these things like, wow, this is great. Like, this music is like so connected to this, you know. Brian was also like, oh, how you can hear this. It's so cool.
Brian's
and I was
just
like,
watching you, listening. He's like, so.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, something I also noticed a lot in like K-pop, like depending on like company and stuff, like a lot of like songs that they have in K-pop, they do a lot of genre switching in like between like different choruses and their verses. So it's not like just strictly like one genre. Like, you'll hear sounds from like very old school R&B 90s, and then like 5 seconds later they switch it to really very popish kind of sounding, and they constantly switching between different genres. And that's something I think a lot of K-pop songs do very well with that, like kind of changing the sound like within like one song where it's very different. Yeah,
it's very interesting field of music for sure. There's a lot of
there's just a lot, as someone very passionate about K-pop, but there's just a lot of like genres within K-pop, like, you know, there's a lot of subgroups and stuff. like the word pops in it, but like there's like, you know, there's like not there's like it's a huge umbrella. Like there's like
Pop
like the
means
R&B.
popular.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
the R&B, there's like a lot of like the rap groups and like ballads and stuff all under like the K-pop thing. You know, if you just get over the barrier that it's like not in English.
I mean, I think that's what makes it interesting. Like, you don't really understand the lyrics, but you can definitely feel the emotion, or you can feel the groove of the music. You can feel the vibe, right? And I think that's really cool with like universal language. Like Paul, like he doesn't understand, or he hasn't really intrigued in that sense of K-pop, but he literally just analyzed K-pop music. And I think that's like really awesome, because for me, like I got introduced like years ago with my cousins, but just recently with like AJ, Tiffany's influence and Brian's influence, and like my family's influence, they got really into K-drama, K culture, and that's when I got really interested. Even though I don't understand, I can hum it in the car. I can do karaoke and be like, oh yes, this is the right chord and I'm in the right harmony. I can do that. But
brings Kanai to a Blackpink concert, she becomes a bigger fan than me. I'm like, man, ever since that concert, she's been a hardcore Blink there.
Hey, but I think I've also appreciated different genres from K-pop too, because there is K-pop, yes, but I feel like I've heard a lot of like R&B, jazz, like folk, like all these different genres, and I think that's what opened me up to different genres, but within K-pop. So I think that's one thing I've also really appreciated from listening to various people and their recommendations, because everybody's taste is in music is so different, but they also relate somehow. Yeah.
Yes, I guess that's what's nice about music.
Yeah.
It's like a universal language.
There's just a lot of genres out there.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, music brought us together.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that cute? Music brought us together. Like, actually.
Cute.
I mean, listening to what Paul said, like listening to like the dominant chord or whatever, that reminds me of how unfit I am to, because I used to like like middle school and stuff. I actually wanted to be a band director.
Wow.
But listening to like Paul like saying like, oh, that's like the dominant chord or like the first chord. Yeah, I was very unfit to be a band
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tiffany, right here. Like, knowing those things as a band director is like 1/8 of the battle. A lot of the skills of band directors isn't really like music thery.
Tiffany's like
like, what? You're telling me this to me now?
Like, telling them to make sure they have enough mouthpiece in their mouth.
Yeah, half the battle with like being a band director is just more air, honestly.
Just breathe.
I just remember Mr. Logan, he had a very famous quote. It was like, band directing is like, 10% actually making music and 90% just like in the office and doing like, things like making itineraries or dealing with parents or planning bus schedules or doing anything that isn't related to making music. And the other 10% is actually standing on the podium and making music with kids, and not to mention like the clash management aspect. Oh my goodness gracious.
Like, also a department like head, I think, or I don't know what the right word is.
He was like the head of
the fine arts.
Something.
Exactly.
Department.
Yeah. But like, because I remember taking music theory junior year. I mean,
you did.
I remember watching you do music theory.
I mean, that class was a hot mess, but like trying to listen, like doing those like applications, like we had an app where we were supposed to like listen to like the dominant chords and like the half steps or
Eric
whatever.
was in that class too.
Oh yeah, Eric was in my. Are you in my class?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Tiffany.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Years ago.
Why do
settle down?
I blocked that class out, so that's why. Because we had to like play like. There was an app that we had on the iPad that you're supposed to play like notes or whatever. You're supposed to like, is that like a half step, a whole step, like wow. And then they added like 4 notes at once, and I was like, "Girl, stop!" That was so bad. I was just like, "What the heck is this?" And then I was like, "Yep, okay, good thing I'm never gonna be a band director." So yeah.
You like, oh geez, like I mean, it is a good skill to have. You as a band director, I guess you should be able to do that, but. I feel like your success isn't gonna your success is not gonna come from knowing intervals as a band director. You know what I mean?
I guess just like music performance in general. Like I wanted to do something music related, but like I guess doing that, I was just like, okay, good thing I'm not being involved in music later. I don't know.
The
I mean, I
PSA
wish I was still in band, but it's fine.
the PSA that we often give on our podcast is just like to just keep just to do those things. It's like
Yeah.
just keep in touch with your hobbies because they kind
Of
of
course.
they
Yeah.
I don't know, they mean so much in the long run. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to like make friends and connections and stuff now that we're outside of school, but I think for me it's brought a couple new connections even still playing and pursuing some other hobbies as well. It's been very cool. I don't know. It just makes life more interesting. You know, you
Mhm.
work and then you sleep. You know, it just
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
there's
tough.
more
Gosh,
to life than
yeah.
working.
Adulting.
Yeah. I mean, that
You
is
sleep?
true.
You sleep?
I mean, that is true. Like thinking about it now, I do regret not like being involved in like something music related in
Yeah.
college. Like I always wish I was in music. I always tried to fit it into my schedule, but my schedule was just gross that
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
was. So now I'm
It's
like always
horrible.
looking into doing like community band or something, but with COVID and everything, that's definitely
Yeah.
not
It's
gonna
hard now.
happen. Yeah.
Virtual band.
It's not gonna work. I mean, now I don't even think I can do it because the community band they rehearse in the evenings. So
Same.
Well, that's why you gotta rehearse now in the comfort of your own home. Get ready for that audition.
I think
Yeah.
that's why
I
didn't
work
do
second
band.
shift.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
It's
True.
I don't like how the band classes are like at nighttime, and I
Yeah.
think that's why I did not participate in band in college. I mean, they did have band in college, but it was just at nighttime, and I was like, I can't do that, you know, with home responsibilities and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The I mean, there is one band that I could do. I think it was the all major band, but I've been told that it was not worth it by someone.
Oh.
It was just like a bunch of trash cans or something, or what? Like, what was
I
going on?
It was because what Jesse was in that band. And
Oh,
he said that he
Oh,
said that
Jacob.
So he's a trash
Really?
can.
Jesse,
it was
said
just a
that-
question.
I mean, he said it wasn't like a trash can, but how was the band?
Trash.
The university band? He said it was garbage, so there's that.
Okay.
There you
I
go.
mean,
See?
Oh.
did you guys hear him?
Podcast.
No.
No.
Okay,
Absolutely
okay.
not. So.
He said that ever since the last like senior concert from high school, he didn't practice until the week of auditions, and then he placed first chair.
Nice.
God.
So
Yes.
so
Legend.
yeah.
Love
So
it.
so he said it was trash.
Wow.
So yeah,
Dang.
I didn't. Yeah.
I don't know. I still wish I still played,
How
but I
about you,
think.
Eric?
Symphonic.
can I
So he says
talk
it's
in?
comparable
Oh,
to
everyone's
symphonic band.
Wait, what did he
Oh.
say?
He says that university band that I could have been in a university is comparable to symphonic band in like our terms. Like if you wanted to have it comparable to. I mean, so it's not like completely terrible, but like since we're so used to playing in what we're used to, like our caliber, yeah. So I don't
That's
know.
the key thing too. Is like
Yeah.
we're
standard.
we're in a
Yeah.
insane situation.
Yeah.
Our program, and that reminds. I had this interesting story. Kind of relates to what Paul said about the different cultures in band. I did this weird. So I was in a combo in college, and for whatever reason, we did this. We showed up to a random high school in the city, really deep in the city, and it was like this nice little teaching opportunity. It was very strange. I was how do you say it? I was the only one that wasn't a major in music. Everyone else was like music majors who was in that combo. I was just the random CS major at the time, and we just showed up at this high school, and I expected like a full piece jazz band, and there's like 3 drummers playing at once, 2 bassists play at once, like 4 acoustic guitars and 3 electric guitars and 3 singers or something, and then like a couple horn players, and they're just all playing jazz and stuff, and or they're trying to, and in the nicest way possible.
In the
and-
nicest.
And they played a cover of this No Doubt song, which is so killing. It was so awesome. The singer was awesome. It was a song called Spiderwebs. It's a great song. And oh my gosh, this experience is so insane because like I watched them, and they were obviously like they didn't have like the same setting as we did, Oh, but the setting, the room, it was in a wrestling, like there's like wrestling mats everywhere. Like it was like a gym area,
Okay.
right? So like just like they put these guys in the back of the school. They don't want to even think about this music program, right? And these guys were having so much fun playing these tunes.
Aw.
It was so awesome. It was a great experience. And then when I like showed some of the bass players, oh, you could do this in this quarter, they're like, what? You know, they were like and it was such an amazing experience. And I think that connects kind of to what Paul was saying way back when. We were just going back to you know, making music and the how you say it, the experiences you gain from that, from making actual good music. But there's a lot that can be gained still from, you know, maybe a lesser quality group. You can meet awesome people and you can still have fun playing your own instrument, you know, with yourself. You can just say, hey, I'm doing great. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the collective group, maybe not, but you know, I think there's a lot to be gained still. And, you know, for anyone who I hear this all the time, it's like, you know, I can't play or I haven't played in ages, but I want to, like, you know, practice yourself, or, you know, whenever COVID doesn't become a thing, you know, just make it an effort to play with others. It's a lot of fun and it's worth it. Like for me, I'm playing in this like terrible band. They're quite bad, but I love them, and I have a lot of fun playing with them.
That's good.
Make it happen.
How about you, Eric? Oh, I was gonna ask.
Of course, no.
Oh, go Paul. Paul.
Okay, sure.
Really
Paul,
good.
yeah, go Paul.
I have a little like interjection right here with this kind of music thing. And you know, you just said that you want to play, right?
I did play.
Well, I'm saying like you want to like play music. So what's stopping you from just opening up your clarinet case and just playing something?
I
you
can
know?
whip it out for you right now. I'm just kidding.
So like,
I really just recently picked up clarinet when you were teaching my brother band, and he kind of you going into my brother's life kind of really reminded me of high school. And I was like, oh my god, like I played my instrument for 10 plus years and I don't even play it anymore, but I still have these skills? Do I retain anything? And I put my clarinet together and I played my solo. It took me a little bit to remember something,
warm up a little,
but I was able to be redetermined to play my solo, and I was able to play my solo again. So
nice.
Yes, I do have some of those tendencies where I was like, okay, I really want to touch up on my skills of clarinetting, and there might be a day where I'm like, you know, I might play a new song. We'll see. It's just
cute.
It just depends.
Yeah, no, the thing I kind of want to touch upon, Jacob, maybe you can speak about this a little bit, but like the notion of like teaching yourself how to play music and all that, because one of the tropes I learned in the music education realm in all these classes is that there's this separation between like home music and like school music. And because school music is, you know, for a grade and you're getting audition from it, and you go to school and the band director listens to you and they say, oh no, you got to play it like do 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 instead of do 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 or whatever. You know, it's like there's like this heightened sense of, not heightened sense, but like this music is more important we play in school, and the home music is like, oh, whatever, just you don't care about it. That's not real music, right? And that's not the case. That shouldn't be the case, you know. And when we're taught to play instruments, we're always starting to play with like I don't know, the great Mozart classics, like what's the Twinkle song, the Twinkle Little Star song, you know,
Little Star,
and the what's that one, like Ode to Joy,
oh my God.
and we're taught like that's a great tune. It's on my album, and
I play on that album.
That's right. A little plug right there. I have a Christmas album. Please listen to it. And I digress. So like we're kind of taught in this way that we need to like learn how to play our instruments in a very specific way. We got to play music that's written on the page. You got to like study the classics, and that's how we can play music. But dude, I bought myself basses. I bought myself a guitar. I bought myself a flute. I'm teaching myself all these instruments, and I'm kind of going, but even bass clarinet too. I am teaching myself how to play these instruments in like my own like philosophy of music. You know, of course, I'm brought up from a jazz perspective, so but I'm learning how to play these instruments by how I want to play my ear, and I think anybody can really do that. Like, I would assume you're into K-pop, right? You like K-pop?
Yeah.
learn some K-pop melodies on the
Yo,
clarinet.
Bro,
You know, learn some K-pop
I see
chord
some
changes. You know?
TikToks of this
Yeah.
girl playing saxophone.
I'm serious.
She's
J-
popping off and she does K-pop songs and she's
That's
popping off
cute.
on the saxophone.
Jacob, you're a self-taught guitarist, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
I mean,
It's a bit of a stretch to call me a guitarist.
Oh.
you're a self-taught person who knows how to play some chords on the guitar.
couple of chords. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, of course, you didn't start with like you need to learn these classic songs. Like you need to play what's that one Iron Man song? Like, what's the I Am Iron Man? That classic everybody
No, it's a
plays.
song called Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Like everybody does that, you know. But I'm assuming you're learning guitar by the way that you see fit. Your own musical voice comes out to that, you know. That's the cool thing about just playing your instruments and playing things that you want to see fit because your own unique voice comes out. Like sure, when we're playing music in like a band setting, we're playing notes off a page and there's some interpretation with that. But really it's just this composer who writes notes and then I interpret that, right? But when we play like music by ourselves, that's just my own literal interpretation from the gray matter between my ears coming out as sound, you know.
Mhm.
It's kind of special that way. So I mean, I encourage you, anybody listen to this podcast or watch this podcast rather, I encourage you, if you did play music or want to play music, I literally just sit down at a piano in your house. I don't care if it's detuned or not, and start banging out some notes, find something fun, make your own music theory.
Get
Oh
a
my
cheap
goodness.
keyboard.
Yeah, seriously. It's cool that there's a Craigslist, visit Craigslist. There's a bunch of cheap instruments on Craigslist. Yeah.
Go to Goodwill like Paul and get a $2,000
Yeah.
flute for like $200.
Dang.
No, 25.
$20. Sorry.
my God.
It was like 20,
Wow.
25, something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
It is
That's
a
nice.
good instrument. I robbed
That is
that
truly
store.
Round.
truly thrifting.
It's okay because Goodwill makes money.
Yeah,
they do.
True.
I do.
I just wanted to know if Eric ever thought about like, you know, doing music like after high school.
The brass. Only brass.
Like brass.
Here.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never heard him like ever talk like about it, like wanting to do that.
I feel like it's a little complicated.
Oh
Like,
no.
well, in terms of like time wise, I had the inverse experience as Kanai, where I felt like evenings definitely were the best times, but I had so much going on, and I was also a daily commuter, and that was like 1 hour at least one way.
Couldn't
So,
really
like
do
2
that
hours a
commuting,
day.
Unfortunately, yeah, I had the same trouble. I
So-
stopped after commuting. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of made it hard. And then there's the instruments that I played. So I pretty much in middle school I learned how to play clarinet, and also 5th grade, and then in like my first year of high school, and then
Played the violin too.
yeah, does that really count?
You abandoned me.
And then I played the euphonium because I don't know, I thought it'd be fun to switch, and like Mr. Logan at the time was like, "Hey, who wants to switch?" I'm like, "Yep, let's try
Yeah, sure.
something new." Just yeah. So there was also like that component. I have a clarinet and I have a euphonium, and I just couldn't pick one. I just felt like if I should probably focus on one. Anyways, there's a lot of things going on, and yeah, I just haven't gone back to it. But yeah, definitely inspirational to hear this conversation. Maybe I'll pick up one of these instruments again.
We'll perform an ensemble.
I really like hearing like these two like just talk about music because you could tell like they're really passionate about it. And I'm just sitting here like nodding. I'm like, wow, they're like if we let them, they'll just keep going
For
on and
sure.
on.
Oh,
But
for
yeah,
sure.
it's really like really refreshing to like see that people like after like St. Paul, like, you know, after like high school, like still pursuing like music like as a career. Because like I see like a lot of people like in like from band and like high school and like orchestra like being like remembering that they're like really good, and then you know like seeing them like kind of just like eventually like stopped doing it at one point, but remembering that they're very talented in the instrument that they played. And I was kind of sad that like some people like they like kind of just stop like after the high school experience.
I think that's okay though. I think it's totally okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
totally okay that people who are really good in high school go down a different path in life. Because let's be honest, music is maybe not the most financially best thing to do,
True.
you know. But hey, it fills my soul with money, so I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know definitely for me, I was like after high school, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done with orchestra.
I
Like
wonder
well, okay.
why.
Totally okay.
yeah, I just did not enjoy orchestra in I like playing the violin, but I just did not enjoy orchestra like in high school. I just did not have.
It's a lot of drama in that.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
yeah.
Like I have like my
sure.
personal reasons, but
Oof.
ooh, but Yeah, it was like once in a while I would like pick it up. Like I like look under my bed. Oh, there's like my $3,000 violin, like sitting under my bed. So maybe I should play something. But I've definitely like throughout college like picked up trying to like learn like different instruments, like self teach myself like guitar, ukulele, and stuff like that until someone stole my ukulele. But
Disaster.
that was a disaster. But I think like for like me, like music, like now, like especially in like college, not instead of like more just like enjoying like music, like listening to it and stuff, have instead of like kind of just like in high school, mostly like my terms of like enjoying music was like things from like orchestra and stuff like that, because like I'm spending so much time practicing like those kinds of like classical songs and stuff. But I think now like in college I kind of went more the route, like instead of like playing music, I kind of went more towards like using music to express myself, like dance wise and stuff like that. Like I know in college I started doing a lot more like dance choreography in terms of music and stuff like that. I enjoyed that a lot.
There's a important point to be made. We're talking about music a lot, but there's other art forms to discover as well. If you loved painting in the 3rd grade or something, to revisit that and see how that works for you now. You know what I'm saying? And or dancing, as AJ mentions here. There's a lot of things that you can do on your free time that can stimulate your brain and make you feel good when you get better at it, or maybe not even get better at it, just do
like
it.
just do, like you don't have to be like the best
Yeah.
or even like good at it, like if it's something you enjoy to do. I feel like that's often something people forget, like as you grow older, like there's like that switch towards like trying to like figure out your life and like settle down and stuff, that people often forget like the things that they enjoy to do and stuff like that. And I think that's very important, like to still like make time and like to find the things you enjoy doing besides like working, eating, sleeping.
Adulting.
Like because just because you grow up doesn't mean you can't still enjoy things like music, art, and like all that jazz.
Oh.
Someone say jazz?
Yeah.
Someone
Oh.
said yes.
Someone say jazz.
Very well said.
All right. So do we have a question or a prompt for our recommendation?
So since we have these 2 amazing guys as our special guests for our podcast, what do you recommend? Anything. Anything. What would you recommend to our listeners, watchers, for us, whatever, for today, to conclude this end?
I have a very special recommendation. This is a recommendation to go somewhere during a very specific time and place. There is a event at Palatine Public Library, Saturday, June 5th at 2 to 4 p.m. I will be playing music. I'll be playing jazz.
Oh,
If you're
okay.
in the Chicagoland suburbs, and you want to listen to me blow some air through a piece of metal tube, come on down.
Okay.
Take a listen to me play over some changes. I'm going to play some major thirds over some major chords. It's going to be a fun time. And this is, it's a big event for the Prospect Heights Library. Did I say Palatine? No. Prospect Heights Library
Prospect Heights.
Wait,
Heights,
is
yes.
it Prospect Heights or Palatine?
No, Prospect Heights.
Okay.
Oh, I
Yep.
wrote down Palatine.
I may have said Palatine because, P is a thing in my mind, actually that's so weird. I take that back. Anyways, Prospect Heights Public Library is doing a grand reopening event. And in fact, we'll hear, grand reopening as in like they're remodeling. Yeah. So they want to have
Memories.
like a thing, that event, and cool thing too is that the new band director at Wheeling High School, Mr. Malik, and I have been talking back and forth, and we're getting some of the jazz combos at Wheeling High School to play as like prelude music for us. So they'll be playing between 2 to 3, and then all my combo from DePaul University will be playing from 3 to 4. So
Okay.
stop on by, support the library, support some local artists, and enjoy some fantastic jazz, of course, in a socially distant manner. But I would assume by then, vaccines will be rolling out. We'll have Pfizer, Moderna in our veins. Maybe not Johnson Johnson. I mean, maybe Johnson Johnson. I don't know if they do the blood clot thing, but whatever. Vaccines in the veins. We like that. Come down,
We
support
love
some art.
that.
And this is a special recommendation only for people in the Chicago area, unless you want to fly a plane down here. That's cool too, or drive a long
That'd be
distance.
pretty
Is
cool.
that some shade you're throwing at me?
A little bit.
Tiffany, just
It's a weekend. It is a Saturday.
Over.
This is Saturday.
Just come visit.
Yeah, we miss you today.
How about you, Jacob? What's your recommendation?
Well, I feel like I gave throughout my rambling recommendation to
Yeah.
pursue the things that brought you joy throughout your life. Don't forget about those things. You do have time to pursue them. You are not too old, and make those happen. So I talked about that a lot. I'm gonna recommend also drinking water. Drinking
Wow.
more water than you actually do, because it's very good for you. Good job, Paul. Excellent work.
love that. Love that.
Damn,
Whiskey
how
Stream
about
Floyd being in the
Me
podcast
too,
right
me
there,
too.
drinking water.
That's right.
how about
So,
the rest of us gang
Any
members?
recommendations?
Any fast, quickie recommendations?
Tiffany, want to go?
My recommendation is to pull out that instrument if you have one.
Oh,
Except I can't, so. Because I live in an apartment, so I don't want to. Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Oh, he
so
pulled
Paul
one
can
out.
play for me.
he's ready.
They're pulling them
Paul,
out. All right.
Paul can play for me. I have
Um,
mine in my
See,
case.
Mine's in my case.
Mine's in
Under
my
the bed.
case too, but I can't play,
Yep.
so
Mm,
the walls are
Yeah.
too thin.
yeah.
Anybody
Nice.
else?
My recommendation of completely off topic, but it's something that I've been doing a little studying on is learning how to be financially responsible. I recommend I think a lot of our listeners are at that age, graduating college, trying to learn how to save your money and stuff. I recommend taking some time to learn how to save your money, invest your money, invest for retirement, because I think definitely
Roth IRA.
Roth IRA. I started that recently. Do your contributions, but yeah,
Yep.
just figuring out how to where to put your money, budget. I think that's super important. I recommend starting to do that sooner rather than later.
True.
Very good. Very good recommendation.
Yes. Can I, Eric?
I can go. Or do you want to go? Can I?
No, you can go.
Okay. So I guess we're talking about a lot of music and jazz today, and I did take a course on Latin American music in college.
Okay, we love that.
And so we were talking about jazz. I recommend you can, if you want to listen to the artists, check out Machito or Mario Bauza, which is Afro-Latin or Afro-Cuban, Afro-Latin jazz. And then also PBS has a really cool mini series on Latin American music, and also there's one section episode that they dedicate to Afro-Latin jazz, which is pretty cool.
Love that.
Nice.
Cute. You, Kai?
The Paul's
Last but not
writing
least.
that down.
He's taking
Paul's
notes.
He's
that
writing down.
Oh,
Okay,
is it
well,
Machito?
what is it?
Machito
Okay.
and Mario Bauza.
Mario
two different people.
Bowser.
Bowser.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking them up.
Are they both Bowsas, or are they separate entities?
No, they're separate. They're separate.
Okay, got it.
Just one goes by a single name, and the other
Got
one
it.
is
Oh,
both.
okay.
Got it.
But
That's
they
pretty
work
heavy.
together often. So,
Oh.
Cool.
but those
Well,
are
in terms of music, I am surrounded by a lot of kids. So if you want to,
buying kids or what?
I'm surrounded by a lot of kids.
I heard I'm buying a lot of kids, and I got
Listen,
I
that's
still heard
illegal.
kids.
Okay, we don't do that.
What do you mean we don't do that?
Well, no, okay, no, we're not going into that topic.
Huh?
A cute kids channel to recommend to watch or listen to would be Simple Songs or Coco Melon. You can find it on Spotify, and they have really
If you
cute
got-
music. If you just don't want any weird music, or you just want to not think about anything, if you want to just sing hey apple and bananas, or you want to
Yes.
sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star,
Classic.
simple
we
songs.
love the child recommendations.
Hey, there's a lot of viewers out there, and I'm trying to reach my horizons. But realistically, my real recommendation would be to go get your vaccines.
True. I
Yeah,
get my
good.
second one, Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Hey.
Yay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I've
get vaccinated.
I've been helping everybody get vaccinated. My mom just got vaccinated.
Yeah,
So get
they've
vaccinated.
been dropping a lot of vaccines lately.
Yes, especially
So-
on CVS. Check it out.
Yeah.
7 a.m. on
Finally.
Fridays. They have like new listings, new openings. But yes,
Yeah.
I'm really thankful for you guys being on our show. We love you guys. We are supporters of the Inside Pod, and I'm truly grateful to have hung out and caught up with you guys. And I'm excited to see you guys in the near future.
It was a
Wink,
pleasure
wink.
being here.
Thanks for having
Love
us.
it.
Yeah.
We love it.
But yeah. Bye, everybody.
Signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Listening. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Love that.